Good morning. We're going to go over the instructions for the Vouch and Trace project. Trying to find out when it's due. I believe it's due Friday, April 30th. The sooner you do it, the more helpful it will be. Yeah, I think you can learn a lot from this project. So don't wait till the last minute. I think it'll help you. So if you go to the modules on Canvas, there's a module for the Vouch and Trace project. If you pull it up, you can see a link to the website. So you want to click on that link and go to the website. There it is. It may take you directly to the right page, but either way, you're at the website now. And there it is, the 425 project, the Vouch and Trace project. You click on that, and it'll bring up a bunch of links for the assignment, to read the assignment, blah, blah. You can read them as well as I. So now you're there. Now, this probably should only take an hour, hour and a half. I strongly encourage you to work with somebody. It'll save you a lot of time if you can work with somebody, because you're going to be using two documents at once. So hopefully you can see that. But so here's the assignment. You want to read the assignment. It's short. It doesn't take very long. Then you might want to print out the price list. You might have the price list there because you're going to use it on all your examples. The assignment is you're going to look at 10 items, so you might print out the price list. Then we got sample work papers. And one of the objectives here is to become a little bit familiar with work papers, just a little bit. You're not going to be a master of them. Years ago, I helped teach a program with KPMG, and they were shocked that students were not familiar with work papers when they started working. And my response was, well, they've never seen any. So we're going to have a couple cases here where you're going to get to play with work papers a little bit. The top green square is going to be the same for every work paper related to these tests. So you've got the client, the College of Business Computer. We're auditing the sales and collection cycle. Specifically, we're auditing sales. We're going to do substantive test of transactions. The objective is to make sure a sales account's not overstated. The assertions we're going to deal with are occurrence and accuracy. So when we go to the second work paper, we're going to find that top material is all the same exactly. Then we've got a description of the procedure. Now, if you did an internship, you may know I laughed that nobody's created an actually new work paper for years. What you do is you copy last year's and you update it. So that's not plagiarism to an auditor. So when you complete this assignment, you're going to just want to copy my work papers and update them for what you did. The second paragraph is you want to be this so that somebody can follow you next year and understand what you did. So it describes the procedure you did. And then the conclusion. I want you to conclude. Students really trouble with that. I need more information. You're not going to get points off for a wrong conclusion. I want you to reach a conclusion. And you've got three choices here. Sales are materially overstated, sales are not materially overstated, or we need additional evidence. Okay. Now the second work paper, there's my sample of 10. Now you see the green box at the top is exactly the same on the second work paper as it was the first. And the purple box, this is my sample of 10. So I looked at 10 items and I laid it out. And here's the invoice, the shipping doc, the sales order, the client, the amount, and then the audited amount. So if the amount was correct for that first line, the audited amount equals the amount on the sales journal. So I'm happy. if we go down, we see one with a 0 there where there's a discrepancy, or one where the sales journal is more than the amount on our audited amount. So we may find some discrepancies. And then you see the 1, 2, 3, we describe the discrepancy we found. Okay, and we're going to base our conclusion on these results. And you have to project your results to the population. How am I going to do that? I didn't look at all the items in the population, so somehow I have to project what I think the balance in the population would be. In my case, I projected a balance of 430. The sales journal says we've got 489, so that's materially overstated. Okay. Then I'm going to do the sales journal. There's the sales journal. They got 489,000, so that's what we're going to try and do, that this is not materially overstated, that it's pretty close to correct. We're going to look at the first. I just took the second item in the sales journal, and according to the sales journal, that was recorded on invoice 6522. So I'm going to go to the accounting department now, and I'm going to look for invoice 6522. There it is. I'm going to pull it up. So I've got invoice 6522. Now, on the sales journal, it says it was January 28th. The invoice is January 28th. Foster Freeze for $14,314. Foster Freeze, the amount's the same. So there's nothing inconsistent between the sales journal and the invoice. So far I'm happy. Now, on the invoice, I can see we're shipping document 4972. So I'm going to go out to the warehouse, and I'm going to look for shipping document 4972, and I'm going to pull that up, and I'm going to compare it. Now, this is where it would really be helpful to have two people, because one of you can have one document up on your screen, and the other can have the other document. So you might have the invoice on, and your friend might have the shipping document. I'm going to check Foster Freeze, make sure the addresses are the same, make sure the items are the same, the workstation, the monitor. Now notice the shipping document doesn't have prices on it. It may or may not have prices. Okay, it doesn't, but we can make sure that the quantity is correct. So here we've got everything looks the same. Foster Freeze, same address, dates are reasonable. So now I'm going to look at the shipping document, and there's the order number, the sales order, 10152. So I'm going to go to the sales department and see if I can find there 10152. I'll pull that sales order. And again, I'm going to compare all the information. The Foster Freeze, the address is the same, the items are the same. I'm going to pull my price list again and check those prices, make sure they're right. The $14,314, that agrees with the amount in the sales journal. So everything's good, and there's a purchase order. We got a purchase order for $343 from Roger Bishop. So I'm happy. Pull the price list, and I'm going to compare, make sure the prices are all the same as on the price list. So I'm going to compare the sales order, the prices on the sales order with the prices on the official price list. And what have I got here? Now this is called a three-way match. I have evidence that the customer ordered it, and we prepared a sales order. I've got evidence we shipped the goods. We kind of earned, completed the transaction, satisfied the performance obligation, and I've got evidence that they billed the customer. So that's called a three-way match, where I've got evidence that the customer ordered, estimate that it was shipped, evidence that the customer ordered it, evidence that it was shipped, and evidence that the client billed it.